So there's a small YouTube channel named Dhar Mann, and I just really don't like him. I think that he is worse than putting milk before cereal. Whenever he is within my field of vision, I just have this insatiable desire to kick a puppy. In game, of course, I'm more of a dog person myself. I love dogs, or chinchillas are actually pretty cool, but I also like dogs. I have more respect for Dr. Doofenshmirtz than I do for Mr. Man. So I've made it a mostly consistent routine to dog on Dhar Mann about once or twice a week until I reach 100k subs. And today, I just kind of feel like I'm doubling back too much on either sexism, racism, or ableism, a little bit too much, so we're gonna do something special today. Just talk about why Dhar Mann conceptually and morally just sucks. Ignoring the allegedly harmful and frankly speaking, stupid stereotypes he puts in, the concept of a lesson channel in and of itself is bad, and before I continue any further, keep in mind that these are all just allegations and they're nothing more than speculation and my own subjective opinions. These are all things that I have observed and taken note of whenever I see any Dhar Mann videos. But I kind of feel like it's important to give people a little bit of an analysis on why I think that Dhar Mann's content is worse than people realize. And I also kind of want to just get people to be aware of what's going on. And I don't want him getting canceled per se. He's a revolutionary cornerstone in the history of YouTube. He's done a lot to change the platform. But it's important for him and everyone to know that what he's doing isn't exactly okay. Now, with that being said, let's get started. I know I've been talking about school a lot, but I just want to put a lot of what I learned to use at least, and I think that includes history right now, and I think that there's a little history lesson that's a little bit applicable to you guys. And also keep in mind, I am not like a licensed teacher. I don't have no certifications whatsoever. I'm just a stupid high school kid, I guess. Yeah, I'm a high school kid, like period, no doubt in my mind. But anyways, during my time in AP World History, we were learning about communist regimes and what life was like during communist rule. And on paper, communism sounded great. Everyone had equal rights, equal pay. Everyone is just on a completely leveled playing field. However, when it comes to applied communism, it's just about as bad as you'd expect it to be. The Soviet Union was the first communist nation in the world, and as the first communist nation in the world, they were to set a precedent on what communism was supposed to be like. However, as you can probably tell, the first communist leader, Joseph Stalin, was a freaking psychopath. Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff, and after that, every single communist nation after that kind of just followed Stalin's example, silencing anyone who didn't believe in the communist dream. Now, what does that have to do with Mr. Man over here? Well, I kind of think it's the same thing, and it supports my past theories even further. The reason why all the other life lesson channels are copying him with extreme stereotypes is because Mr. Man himself is kind of stereotypical. I've already dived into his racial and sexual stereotypes, so there's the establishment that these stereotypes are allegedly true. If these stereotypes are truly present in his videos, then that explains the Dhar Mann copies and why they're so extreme, and why they have all these sexist and racist and ableist stereotypes. However, I could be looking too much into it. Maybe the life lesson channels copies are just looking to make a quick buck and just amplify the clickbait tenfold by putting in racist Karen hunts down Mexicans with a 50 cal sniper rifle and blonde hair and all that other stuff. I don't know, maybe they're just doing that in order to just get clicks and drive traffic to their channel. Of course, we can't forget to talk about how Dhar Mann's an insufferable big fat old meanie because he brought on SS Sniper Wolf, who allegedly put Jack's films in danger. Of course, we cannot forget allegedly, like that's the favorite word of media nowadays because you can't really do anything without clarifying that, oh, these are allegations. But that's pretty old. We've already talked about it a few times on this channel. Let's talk about the other people he's collaborated with, starting off with FaZe Rug. Before the collaboration with Dhar Mann, FaZe made glorious masterpieces like Cheating on My Girlfriend, Loyalty Test, and bangers like I Want a Baby Now prank. And guess what FaZe does? That's right, he does exactly what SS Sniper Wolf allegedly does, which is putting big fat booty cheeks on YouTube thumbnails in order to draw little fetuses to their videos. I don't think you can just sneak food inside someone's butt cheeks into a movie theater and call that a life hack. That's just eating chips with a smidge of feces. And looking at this thumbnail, 5 ways to sneak snacks into the movies, like what's up with movies and inflation. Like these kid content creators just have a really peculiar liking for big, overly inflated people. And last but not least, Exhibit C Cheap versus expensive Halloween costumes. Need I say more? Also, Exhibit D, I got her pregnant. Like, what even is this content? And keep in mind, Dhar Mann collaborated with this guy. He collaborated with someone who is contributing to the content farm trend. And also, we can't forget to mention, SS Sniper Wolf is allegedly a sex offender. She is showing kids adult content, and she at one point allegedly told a kid to take off their shirt. Like, that is weird. You have brought on alleged sex offenders, Dhar Mann. You need to, do something about this. You can't be supporting these people. But let's take a look at another, shall we? Maybe like FaZe Rug, apart from his crypto scams and clickbaiting these weird people, it's like, just ignoring that, let's just move our attention over to the Stokes twins. And looking at one of their videos before the collaboration with Dhar Mann, I can see that they too love movie theater and inflation pregnant women, or whatever the hell they like, because they still hopped on the pregnant lady train. They're also sex offenders, apparently, judging from this thumbnail, which implies that they're showing their wiener to the public. But yeah, you get my idea. This section's just a little nitpick, but I kind of feel like he should probably do more research on the types of videos people make whenever Dhar Mann wants to collab with them. Otherwise, you end up bringing on sex offenders. Wow, who knew? You should do your research before you get involved with people. That is just... I found the cure to cancer, guys. Like, holy crap, you should not be bringing on sex offenders. So shout out to this guy named Yes Unfortunately R1X for calling this part out, but Dhar Mann's just been a no good hypocrite. The DMCU has been a very inconsistent plotline, where he sets people up for a very bad plotline along the way. Mr. Unfortunately points out that in the series Dhar Mann had with the Adventures of Jay and Mikey, where he was basically encouraging kids to commit crimes, he never really shows any real punishment being given to the kids. And yeah, a few people have pointed that out, specifically August the Duck. Although it might seem a little bit insignificant, Dhar Mann's supposed to be a serious life channel with like 24 million subs. Probably more at this point. If he's going to be this serious about his channel, I'm going to treat it as such. Of course, it's not okay to be telling kids they shouldn't be getting punished for their crimes, specifically felonies. But by not showing the kids getting punished for threatening acts of terrorism, Mr. Mann essentially pushes the narrative that kids are just going to be kids and that they are meant to make mistakes in their childhood. And yeah, that narrative is pretty much right. If the kid gets punished, they need to learn that everything has consequences. And the consequences are either positive or negative, depending on what they did. And they need to learn that committing acts of domestic terrorism is not okay. And trying to blowtorch your fucking ankle monitor off is not okay. And the gorgeous Mr. Unfortunately also points out that Mr. Mann basically just gets neuralized every 24 hours because this guy doesn't remember the videos that he makes and doesn't remember the narrative he pushes. Mr. Unfortunately points out that he made 2 separate videos, both of them pushing different narratives. And that's fine. But he made these 2 videos in like the same week or 2 weeks. This kind of just shows that Mr. Mann's only making these videos for the money, and he's never really cared about making life lessons in the first place because he never really pays attention to the things that he throws out there. But at the same time, he's also still maintaining this mantra that, oh, I am the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, even though unironically he is Christian. It's also proof that he doesn't really seem to have a point of view on things. Look at these 2 videos, for instance. It was something along the lines of iPad kid gets punished by mom or something, and then the other one, he encourages iPad kids to be having their iPads, which I personally think, at least, and I think a majority of the world agrees that iPad kids are the most insufferable kids on the planet. They cry whenever they don't get what they want. We should stop feeding into that. Don't let the kid have what they want. AP psychology lesson. If you keep letting the kid, cry for things and you just keep on giving in, that's positive reinforcement. You are encouraging that behavior on your kid, and that's not okay in the long term, because eventually if you keep doing that, he's gonna be a public embarrassment. He will be a loser. He will be an absolute insufferable douchebag. He will always be a loser until he stops that. And the only way, or at least one of the only ways you can stop that, is if parents, and I'm no parent either, so I can't be talking, but the only way you can stop your kid from being an insufferable loser like that is to stop giving in. But Dhar Mann is either pushing and pulling against the narrative, I don't know, but either way, he should probably pick a side that is more logical, which is stop giving iPad kids what they want. And yeah, that's about it. That sums up why Dhar Mann and life lesson channels in general conceptually suck, both, ideally, conceptually, and in practice. Dhar Mann set a terrible precedent for all the other life lesson channels to go through, and his stereotypes are proven through other life lesson channels trying to imitate Dhar Mann. If they are trying to copy Dhar Mann, naturally they'd be more inclined to amplify already existing aspects in his channel to get like 10x or like at least 100x his views or something like that, or at least in an attempt to. They're all dead now. But if all the other life lesson channels are extremely racist and sexist and ableist and all that other stuff, and they're taking inspiration from Dhar Mann, then logically there must be some aspect of that within Dhar Mann as well. One last shout out to my boy or girl named Yes Unfortunately R1X for giving me the entire point of Dhar Mann's hypocrisy and insincerity. I thank you all for your time. I really appreciate the recent support that I've gotten on this channel. It really helps a lot. I hope you all subscribe because please, I'm going to be homeless, bro. I actually failed I have failed the past 7 quizzes on AP Calc. I have a C in AP Calc right now. My unit test scores are higher than my unit scores. I need help, please. But anyways, I hope you all have a good, or at least had a few good takeaway from this video. I hope you all have a good day, and bye.